Hello, classmates and tutors from the course Material Design for Face-to-Face Environments. I'm Luis Fernando Alvarez, and I want to talk about English language learning materials. So here, I want to give you a general outline what this means. So, what should English language learning or ELT materials have? They should have, for example, an impact, so the students can notice at first glimpse that this is something important where they can learn a lot of information from these kind of materials. So, which is quite good. Also, these kind of materials should call the students' attentions, let's say for the design or the day layout, which is a very, this day and age, which are very, let's say, for example, call the attention, so which is pretty good for students. It's also important for the materials to have a good range of variety, such as the novelty. So innovation is quite important, the presentation, the cover is quite, nice and with good pictures and etc. with good decorations, and the content, which is very important for the students. So this is like the hook that call the attention of students to be interested in this kind of materials. Another key factor is that the student uh, have a special need, and this is, for example, the help that the students learn at ease. So, which means that they are at their own page with no hesitation, and because the materials are quite fun, so they don't rely on just, let's say, a traditional. We have seen that is grammar and vocabulary. So I think today's ELT material are even more dynamics. And finally, we focus on communication, which is the final, let's say, goal of all these ELT materials. Now I want to move on to the proposals of principles approaches to the development of ELT materials. So, in this case, the proposal can start, for example, with self-investment. That means that a student are in a position to look for themselves, to discover new things, and to interact with all the, for example, with their classmate or even teacher or tutors that surround them. This is such a great key factor since students can find out things just by themselves, not because the teacher or the tutor is going to tell them, and just, but also because they are quite, for example, capable of do the things by themselves. Also, the discoveries can enhance the student's performance when it comes to learning language. So this is also quite important because they, at the same time, they feel motivated when they are making progress and they're discovering new things, maybe that they ignore in the past or something that they're gonna reinforce. Another key principle which is important for the development, sorry, is to focus on communication. So in the English language, as well as the others, is its main core is based on the four skill: listening and speaking, reading and writing. So either way that students or individuals trying to focus on is going to be focused on communication. For example, let's say if you like to write, even though you're, let's say, improving this important skill, this is a good way of communication in English. Or, for example, if someone likes to speak a lot, communicate, to interact with others, this is another way to develop communication skills. So these materials help us out. We have books around for listening, speaking, reading, writing, among other things that help the student to do good at all stages of these four skills. Also, the materials should be updated. That means that in this day and age, 2019, you're going to find out even new materials coming out compared to a couple decades ago. Imagine yourself studying an English course in the 1980s compared to someone who is studying a course right now. So everything is totally different. The books comes with CD-ROMs, which are, let's say, top notch, with a good quality, even interactive. So all of these materials are quite important for the learning process. And these materials also rely on learning styles. So this is a good idea to remember that there are many learning styles. The most important are, for example, some people who are visual, just learning by watching, observing. Other are kinesthetic, they need to be moving. All the others are audio, which is focused on mainly on listening. In this way, they're going to acquire language or knowledge. In this case, specifically talking English would be language. So all of these materials nowadays are offering all of these options for those individuals pursuing another language, which I see, which is pretty good. So these are, on the whole, for example, the activities according to the texts I have read, which are the most important factor. Now, I want to rely on the self-reflection about the ELT materials. So I want to say that I have personally tried out some ELT materials, and I do believe they are really useful. For starters, teacher can go through them as many times as they want. So any topic to teach, activities among others, at our fingerprint. Another key to rely on them is that they offer lots of strategies and techniques so that teachers have the right tools to impart their teaching. Third, the ELT materials allow the students to discover new things by themselves, making the learning process quite fun and, more importantly, learn at ease. To sum up, the ELT materials offer so much help in the field of education. One starting teaching should not be afraid of doing his job simply because he is not alone. I do think they are the help we as teachers need to move forward. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.